Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time.
Face down on a table for 5 hours yesterday.
And how was the tattoo?
Good, that's great stuff. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate.
Here we are
you sound
again.
Like you're from London.
In the same room, in the same clothes.
That's not there. That wasn't there in the last episode, though.
No. Rule 1, broken, eating in the studio. And you just went, it'll be all right.
Yeah, I did say that.
Yeah.
We discussed this in the break. And I said that's the perfect way to get out of being told. That's essentially what I said to my boss, if he is my boss, last week at the pub. You know.
Didn't clean the vent. It'll be all right.
It'll be all right. Yeah. There you go. Next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you went, there's no hot water. And he went, it'll be all
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
And you're like, oh, he's done me there.
He's
He's
got
absolutely done me. Anyway, welcome to a brand new episode of Drum and Drummer.
Drum and
You
Drummer.
looked at your watch like
Sorry.
you're meant to be somewhere else,
No.
doing something else, that you're busy.
It said
That
time.
this is an inconvenience for you.
Well, it says time to stand.
Well,
Do you get that one?
no, I turned
Apple
that
Watch
one
is
off.
just. I didn't even know how they turn it off.
Yeah.
I always get the walking one. It says it looks like you're out on a walk. Do you want to record? I go, no, I can't. But I'm walking all the time. I can't record them all. You know, be like if someone says, "Do you want to record all your breathing?" No, it's mental.
How have you been in the last 10 minutes? Illusion shattered.
Yeah, the
Doing two
illusion
in
is
one
broken.
day, but we are here
Yeah.
in the same room. For the first, well, now the second time.
Yeah.
But it's all one day, innit?
It's all one
It's
day.
all one session.
Yeah, I'm
Recording
good.
a new episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A catch up is.
Catch up.
I mean,
Small. We got a lot of that out of the way last
did,
week's
yeah,
episode.
yeah.
One thing I didn't bring up though is I've had more work done on my Jurassic Park tattoo.
Yeah, I did it in the break, and I did a terrible job of it. Joking.
Another 6 hours spent.
With your face down.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I actually got to sit up for some of it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But yeah, a lot of colouring in.
Yeah.
We'll get a picture of that up. But
Yeah,
yeah, I got
definitely.
another session booked in March. Get more work done on it because it's taking a while.
Yeah, it is.
But big job, isn't it?
Was it meant to be like split up?
Is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, as a man who constantly has to say to clients, recording takes a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to go. That's what I'm literally sat next to the woman.
Yeah.
It's not like, and I'm fully aware she's tattooing me because around the wrist it fucking hurt. So it's not like I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
She's literally constantly there doing it.
Yeah.
She can't go any faster,
No.
and I want it to be. Now,
I'm aware of that. I just sort of meant like, yeah, over different time. But I guess, you know, she's booked.
Well,
up.
it did get to a point actually. We did sort of 6 hours of a little lunch break, and by that point, it was very painful. There was blood.
Yeah.
And my wrist was lower up, was puffing up, was swelling up. And it got to the point, it was round about we were going to finish anyway. And she said, I think I'll do you a little bit more extra time next time.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think you should have any more done
Yeah,
today.
fair.
We need to let that settle down and heal because she's basically coloured in a quarter of my arm black.
Yeah.
But it's looking good. It's healing
cool.
up nicely. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's weird, isn't it? Because we've done all the catch up. So
Yeah.
what is there to discuss?
well, I'll drop you this bomb.
yeah, God.
A Dent Act EP. I finished it.
Yep.
I finished
Well
it,
done.
mate. Thanks, mate. Thank you. I'm very
A round
happy
of
with it.
applause.
It's all mixed and mastered. And we had a rehearsal. We got in a room together, the three of us, and we were like, we should probably learn how to actually play these songs.
Yeah.
Some of them we'd never actually played together.
Yeah.
So we had a lovely little daytime rehearsal. And so the day before, I was like, I need to do some practice. So on a very rare occasion, I got my drum kit out
Yeah.
and practiced these songs. And I said to the guys on the day, actually, at the end of the rehearsal, you know, it was a Friday daytime, the rehearsal. So the Thursday, you know, I came into the studio to set my kit up, got my rig set up so I could have some cans with and play along.
Mm.
And half my brain was like, oh, lovely. You're just going to go and play your drums all day and play your own band songs, and you really like them and they're good.
Mm.
The other half was going, can't be bothered though. What's the point? Can't be bothered. You got to go in and you got to get your drum kit from upstairs. You got to set it up.
Yeah.
And you got to do this and you do that. And it was so annoying.
Yeah. What, that feeling?
Yeah, that feeling of going, ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh, your brain just going, no, what are you doing? You're not earning any money doing this. This is pathetic. Oh, you still want to be in a band, do you? Oh, you still think you got a chance of making it?
Yeah.
And I was going, so many people are in shit jobs right now.
Yeah.
And your day is, go and play some drums in your own studio. But the other half was starting to win and going, oh, what's the point?
I'd say that other half has been winning for
about 20 years.
Yeah, I know what you mean though.
But I thought through it, and it's like I didn't even have to put a drum kit in the fucking car.
Yeah.
I just walked in. It's in the same building, but then I'm like, oh, got to bring it down some stairs.
Yeah.
Oh, woe is me. How hard is my fucking life? Oh, and you got to set it up. Oh, pathetic.
Yeah.
Absolutely pathetic.
Mm.
But I was like, no, just fucking do it, because I need, we had the rehearsal the next day and I didn't want to look like an absolute lemon. I did it and it was fine. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Did you enjoy it?
I think a big thing was I was working that night as well, so it was going to be a long day, but I knew I then had to pack everything up and then be mentally prepared to work the evening shift as well. So it was a bit like, oh, that was hanging over me. But it's just amazing how the brain just goes.
No, it is.
Your Thursday is just playing your own band songs, just playing drums. Yet your brain goes, nah. Fucking mental. It's absolutely mental. So anyway, but it was good, and then the rehearsal was really good fun.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it, and I overshot how much backing vocals and drumming I could do at the same time.
Oh really?
Yeah, but it will come. It will come.
Yeah,
I'll get there. The songs they're not in the muscle memory yet.
Yeah.
So I just got to get them to that point.
Yeah, definitely.
It was good.
Nice.
Have you been doing any drumming, little boy?
I have actually. Listeners to this podcast will know that. Did we introduce today? I can't remember if we did.
Don't know.
Welcome to Drum and Drummer. Anyway,
well, I'd have heard the intro. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They'll know about Drum Coach Online, hopefully, and we've been doing together videos for the old YouTube channel. Basically, students, will want to play the grade pieces from the rock school books. So what we've done is recorded videos of me playing them, just as a kind of playthrough, helping play along thing. Grades debut to 8. But the thing is, it's they get significantly harder, as I knew they would, obviously, but I kind of, we've done the debut one tomorrow.
So the debut book is pre-grade 1.
Yeah, pre-grade 1.
So it's literally, and it was basically just kick, snare and hi-hat.
Yeah, there's no crash, there's no toms.
And there was 12 tunes, about a minute long, that you can just sort of play along to.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, I didn't really practice it before coming in because you
didn't really nail it either. No, I'm joking. Do you want me to edit that one? Yep.
Edit them all. Just crop me out. No, but then grade 1 and 2 is, they add in tom fills and stuff, as you'd imagine. And grade 3 and 4 it gets tricky. But the other night before I went to bed, I was like, I'm going to just read through, because I haven't even looked at grade 8 yet. And I was like, I'm just going to have a look, and you go, oh, this is going to take some practice. But it's fun to do it again, because I haven't done any notation reading in a while, not since I've been teaching, and not since, I don't know, I just haven't done it. And it's funny because a lot of drummers can't read, drum notation, and can't read music, and it's like
some people don't know it exists.
Yeah,
that there is actually drum notation.
Yeah, and I always try and teach students it just as a kind of another way to kind of get beats across, because if you explain something to them, you go, okay, you play this and it's hi-hat and kick and then it's this. Whereas some students really learn with notation, but it's, yeah, but that's what I've been practicing. But it's fun to do that because it's just fun to learn something that's tricky and then go, oh, this is impossible. I like that feat, you know, like even in the grade 2 book, I'm not ashamed to say there's a random standout song that's like weirdly trickier. Like you kind of go through them all. It's like Usher, yeah, and it's like do that. And then there's this, I can't remember what it's called, like Cuba Mama or something. And it's just a bit different. Like there's like, you know, it's just a different vibe, you know. And I was like, I'm going to have to actually sit down and work this out.
But I think when you're doing stuff on your own steam, so when you're playing your own stuff in your own band or you're doing, you know, function stuff, like, especially when you're your own band, like, you tend to not write something that you just can't do.
No.
So you just don't do it.
Yeah.
You do what you can do. And then, you know, Neil jokes here that basically I've got 6 drum fills in my locker.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, drum fill number 3.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, because there's no one's really pushing me to,
No.
you know, but actually with the Dent Act, what I did was I demoed everything with programmed drums first and was like, what would I want it to do? Factoring in what was physically possible and what would be my normal start. And there was actually a couple of fills where it was like when it came to putting it on a real kit, I was like, oh, hello.
Yeah.
That's actually a little bit,
Yeah.
something to change. But I was like, no, I actually recorded one and was like, oh, that's quite hard.
Yeah.
What if I just do this instead?
Yeah.
And then I went home and I went through the edit and I was like, no,
Yeah.
fucking pussy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go back and do it again
and
just work out how to do what you want it to do.
Yeah.
And I believe you so there'll be like my sort of hi-hat, I'd say my left foot hi-hat control is pretty wank. And like, I never just close the hi-hat on 2 and 4.
Yeah.
I just don't do it.
Yeah.
Because I can never get it bang in time. I just don't do it.
Yeah.
And I imagine but that exists in like a grade 3 or 4.
That was in 2. That's
in
one of
2.
the things. Yeah.
And I'd be like, nah.
Yeah.
Well, I never need to do it. I don't need to do it because I can, you know. But I imagine there are.
It is that thing, and I think it's knowing that you got to get every note right. You know, if I play a gig, you never play in the same. I mean, you might because you're more like, you know,
trust the chart, baby.
Trust the chart, but like, I mean, even like in terms of
I don't
like,
want to say robotic. But...
yeah, but even in terms of like kicks and snare, like you're not playing the same crash every, like, you know, there's things that you might do different, like minuscule things. But these books, obviously, it's like
it usually comes from being bored out of your fucking mind. That you sort of you're thinking about other stuff, and you're like, oh,
yeah. But these books, I know I've got to play each beat the same as it is on the chart, and it's like it does make it like something you have to be disciplined with. Be like, okay, it has to be the same. I'll say one thing actually. Speaking of like learning something, I remember when I was at music uni, and we got given a We got given a piece to learn. It was a 1 minute 30 piece, and we were told it was 1 minute 30, and I think we all kind of went, that'd be all right, you know. And then I think this was in 2nd year, maybe 3rd year, and it was impossible. It was really like challenging stuff, like deliberately, you know, you're at university now. And I remember I got this piece and I went, I physically can't do this. And I think it was about 90 BPM. And I was like, right, I'll slow it down to 70. I was like, I can't do it. I slowed it down to 50. I had to slow it down to like 40 because it was so much going on. And I remember I booked out a rehearsal place every night for a week for 2 hours. And I just played that song. And it was like Monday I played it at 40. And I was like, okay, I'm getting there. And then Tuesday I played it at 50. And then and then by the end of the week I could do it. And I was like, oh. But I thought I would have never have learned that piece had it not been for like I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And this is what I quite like about.
But now you can play Seven Nation Army almost perfectly.
I could almost see.
You can see
I was like, he's got a joke. What is it going to be?
Yeah, a little like oh.
But that's the same thing with these grade books. I never would have learned. You know, even as a teacher, I never would have learned them all.
For you.
But yeah,
those questions. When you started learning drums with a teacher,
yes.
how old were you?
15
Yeah.
maybe.
Did you start straight away with notation?
I think it was pretty quick. I think it was, and it was definitely something the teacher used a lot. You know, he'd be like, right, we're playing from this book. Let's see if you can do all these fills. You know.
Yeah.
So I think it was pretty soon in.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
was
I
straight
did it.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I had my first drum lesson when I was sort of 12, but I'd already been in trombone for 5 years, so I had, I already understood staves, bar lines, time signatures, note durations, and things like that. So it wasn't all new information to me. It was just basically, and if anything, it was easier. It was like, oh, one drum equals one bit on the stave. Easy. Yeah. You know, so I always sort of, used notation. Follow-up question.
Yeah, go on.
Did you do any grades?
I did grade 6 when I was 18.
Was that what?
Distinction, 94%, if you're asking.
No, I'm not asking that. But what board was it? Was it a rock school?
Yeah, it was rock school.
Rock school. Don't count that.
Does it not? Why not?
So you got. So I did the trombone grades on the trombone. They were the associated board.
Right.
Then you had like Trinity had their own set of grades, and Guildhall had their own set of grades, and they were like the more classical sort of things. Yeah. And then you had all the bullshit like rock school, like play along to Coldplay. Yeah, it's not a real grade, is it? But I did the
genuine.
But I don't think
stuff.
the rock school stuff existed when I was
probably
at school. Not. But Guildhall School of Music and Drama had their own grade system for drums. Yeah. So I actually did the couple of the Guildhall.
Yeah. Well, grades. I can't remember when I taught at Havant Academy, I had to teach the students from a grade book, which I didn't know. And I taught them grade 1, and grade 1 was like tricky stuff. I was surprised. And it was exactly, this is a good loop back to what we were saying. There was a drum beat in the grade 1 book that no drummer would ever play. It was literally like they just put notes on. They were just like that.
Quota fill in.
Yeah, it was. I remember what it was. It was like, imagine like just a basic your Billie Jean beat, but play the high tom on the and of 1. So it'd be like I can't. It was just, but it was like, and the students would be like, why is like, so you have to play the hi hat and the high tom at the same time, so your arm kind of goes underneath, and
I don't stop believing.
Yeah, but even that you play open-handed. Well, you know,
I don't.
Do you know what? You just throw in a few. That's what I do. Just throw in some toms. Yeah.
Sometimes don't even bother with the tom. No one in that crowd is going, oh, excuse me, he's not playing the rack tom on the and of 2.
Person.
Yeah, but
that's me turning up to your gigs shouting that with a megaphone. Yeah, but I remember reading that going, no one would, but that's the thing, no one would ever put that there. But it didn't even sound good. It was just like, what was the point in that? But
so I think it's helpful to, obviously there's a lot of great players out there. They don't read music. It's all comes from the field, baby. You know, music, even not just drummers, but other instrumentalists, they can learn. Yeah. I'd say it's probably less so with things like more classical instruments. Yeah. But, you know, the rock school bullshit, you can just learn. You learn Oasis, that's how you start in it. And obviously you've got a guitar tab and things like that. Yeah. But I'd say if you're starting out, very handy to learn it. Get it. Yeah. Get it learned. Yeah. And it's in there, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Sight reading. Because if you go and do a show, there's a shitty old score that you got to read. Things like that.
I feel like once you've got it, I've taught it to students and then not gone over it for a year and then gone back and I go, do you remember all that? And they go, it's simple.
Did you ever taught or did you ever teach when you taught like rhythms, like crotchets, semiquavers, all that sort of shit? Yeah. Like how to, I remember my drum teacher would teach the other students using like words.
Yeah, I think I know where you're going with this. Yeah. I did the one that was like tea for a crotchet, coffee, and then I think it was a breakfast one, so it was like egg and bacon for like 16ths.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, see, it's good. Yeah. But with
do you know
children,
what my favourite one was?
Go on.
My favourite one. It was either a minim or a semi-breve.
Yeah.
So you had like tea, coffee, Coca-Cola, tea,
Yeah.
tea, coffee, soup.
Amazing.
The first one.
Yeah.
Soup.
What else is there? Blackberries.
Oh, for a,
And then
blackberry.
sausages, I think.
Triplets?
Yeah, triplets.
Sausages.
What was the one for?
Or sausages.
I think it was triplets. I'm trying to remember because there was blackberries and then there was another one that was like I can't remember what. I can't remember what the word was though. But it was good because it's like, you know, the students, if they're age 5, they love all that because it's like, you know, they understand tea and coffee, you know, more than they understand.
Do they at 5?
Maybe not tea and
I
coffee.
tell you what, actually, my parents, you know, I don't drink tea or coffee, and that blows some people's minds.
Yeah.
Right. For me, just don't like hot drink.
Yeah.
You know,
You do run hot.
I run hot boy. Everyone knows this.
Yeah.
If you get in my car, even in winter, bring a coat.
Although it is hot in this room right now.
I know, I'm struggling. I'm struggling because if you waffle in my t-shirt, I run hot boy. No, but my parents, you know, would drink tea and coffee.
Yeah.
And growing up, and I mean they still do.
Yeah.
And I remember them being like, "Oh, do you want to try tea?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, okay." So I made a cup. Oh, this is how you make a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Oh, I don't. It's fine."
Yeah.
And then you know, the next day or a couple of days later, it was like, "Do you fancy a cup of tea?"
Mm.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, I can do."
Yeah.
They said, "Oh, if you're making one, do you want to make us one as well?"
Right.
Saw through their plan immediately.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I don't want to drink tea.
Yeah.
If you've taught me that, just so I will be making you tea, I can be a little tea slave.
Yeah.
No, thank you very much. I will go. Actually, I don't want to drink tea.
Yeah.
Make my own fucking tea.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't want to make tea, and then be like, "Oh, does anyone else want one?" And then I'm having to make 4 cups of tea. Fuck that.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Stick to it. What would you drink instead while everyone's having a tea?
Squash, baby.
Squash.
Yeah, squash. Me and my
Hot
brother
squash
actually.
or just squash?
Hot squash.
Well, it's, you know, join in the hot crowd, you know. If everyone's having a hot drink, you have a cold squash. Be like everyone going out for ice cream and you go, I'll have a hot suet pudding or something, you know.
It's got to be cold, boy. If you're having a squash, mate, it's got to be cold.
Yeah.
Get some ice in that shit. Run the tap for a bit. Come on.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than
You do have to run
you like
the tap.
lay down the community centre and they've got those little plastic cups of warm squash, room temperature squash. Oh, absolute horseshit.
Don't want that.
No.
I remember as a kid at school, this is just going way off topic.
Yeah.
Like,
so drums, learn them, whatever. Read notation. I don't care. We're talking about squash temperature.
We are
here.
talking about squash.
There was real topics.
I don't know if it was sports day or something.
But there was squash on a sports day.
Worse than that. So it was like they had the squash. I think they just made a bucket of squash, and then the idea is I can't remember if you put your cup in and take it out, or
couldn't do that these days.
No, I know, or whether they got a ladle or something. Yeah, but I saw this kid drink a bit, and kids are disgusting when they drink.
Yeah.
They don't know how to just what they would like cough, and it sort of goes back in the cup or whatever. I saw this kid drink a bit and then go, nah, and just pour it back in the bucket. And I just remember it, and I hadn't had my squash yet. And I was thinking, I'm not having it.
That is grim, isn't it?
He spiked the punch.
Vat of warm squash.
And phlegm.
Phlegm. Little Johnny's phlegm. Just floating on the top. Nah, not having that.
Surely that's the title of the episode.
Little Johnny's phlegm floating on the top. That's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah.
Oh.
So anyway, I don't drink tea or coffee. No, thank you.
And some people can read drum notation and some can't.
Yeah. Do what you want. Next.
Have we had a break?
We haven't had a break, but just before the break,
yeah, go on.
New feature I'd like to bring in.
How
a
exciting.
Weekly feature. This is a drumming. I mean,
yeah.
You could easily think it's not about drumming.
It's hard to know what it's about anymore.
Yeah.
Episode 14.
I mean, this is throwing me off that we're in the same room. And I'm also
so
I've got one eye on the Lego.
Yeah.
Because it's going, build me. Stop doing all this. Build me. That takes me away from the bullshit of life.
Yeah.
I can just build Lego.
It's like when it's too 8:45 at school, and you're looking at the clock, and you're going nearly at the end now.
I mean, we finished school at 3:10.
Yeah, I think
And that
we
used to
were
be a long
3:15,
day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'd love to finish at 3:10 every day.
But you have to get up earlier, don't you?
Uh,
But yeah, I do get what you mean.
yeah. But yeah, new feature. This is a drumming podcast. Drum kits are made of various things. Kicks, snares.
Yeah.
I want to bring in Tom of the Week.
Okay.
Yeah?
You mean as in the drums, not your favourite actor's named Tom?
Well, my Tom of
Tom
the Week
Hanks.
this week. Tom of the Week this week, Tom Hardy.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
Oh,
because he played Bane
yeah,
in The Dark Knight Rises.
he did.
And I watched that film again recently, and I fucking love it.
Right, let's not get... We're so good at getting sidetracked this episode. I think it's because we're in the same room.
Yeah. So that's this week's Tom of the Week.
Is that it?
That's it. So, anyway, we'll have a break.
I love it.
See you in a
There we go. Right.
Enjoy the adverts. Welcome back.
Welcome
Episode
back.
14, Drum and Drummer. Still going, baby.
Still good.
Still
14.
going. Oh, it's tired.
Bit of a yawn. It's like I tried to suppress it. Well, I woke up at 8 buying Lego last week.
The illusion's gone, mate. Illusion's absolutely shattered. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Touring, boy.
Yeah.
Let's just
discuss
dive
it.
straight in.
Yeah.
Keep this swift.
Yeah. Keep this Taylor.
Because we actually have places to be.
We actually do.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't feel like other podcasts have such a time restraint. You know what I mean? I feel like they're sort of like
If
Rogan.
they do, they hide it better than we do.
Yeah.
But then go, listen, we've got to go in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But
Not in a cool way. Like,
but this is
let's wrap
also
this up.
not normal that we're in the same room doing it.
No, it's not.
So it's a bit weird. And I actually had to set up some fucking gear.
Yeah.
Set up the mics. As you can see from the video, we are in the lovely old Blacksmith Studios in the control room.
Still here.
With all the fucking lights on. Touring, mate.
Yeah.
Have you ever done a tour?
Not a proper one, I wouldn't say. I've done like little stints where you do like a week of gigs, in different places. But I'd never say I've done something like substantial, like an actual, let's get in a van and let's tour around. Closest, I don't know whether to count it. It's this sort of thing when I did my, contract abroad in Mallorca. It's a different thing, but a lot of the things are the same. We were in a van, we were gigging every day, and it's but I wouldn't say I've toured as in the classic way of touring. You?
I have. Probably I've done I'd probably only say 2 of them were proper.
Yeah.
Done the whole thing with Oxygen Thief where we do our own headlining tour, and Barry booked us a run of gigs all in a row, and we went round ourselves, and it was abysmal.
Yeah.
You go to Plymouth and there's literally no one there.
Yeah.
So do that. But for me, it was always being on that sort of tour where, I don't know, you're slightly out of the trough.
Yeah.
And there's some legitimacy about it. And in 2014, I was very lucky to do 2 good ones, pretty much back to back, where with Oxygen Thief, we went on tour opening up for the band In Me.
Right.
And then we went opening up for Frank Turner's side project, Mongol Horde.
Cool.
And they were I think In Me was maybe 12, 14 shows. And Mongol Horde was maybe 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Kind of the odd day off.
Yeah.
But they were you're playing some proper venues, venues on the circuit and stuff. But it was, we were able to fit everything in a Neil's Ford C-Max.
Amazing.
And you kind of go, I don't know, the glamour's it's a bit weird, especially when you're the opening band,
Yeah.
like the little runts and all that.
Yeah.
Good fun, but it's you get in this nice little tour bubble
Yeah.
where normal rules of life don't apply. But yeah, a lot of driving, but enjoyed it.
Any mad stories from the road?
There was one. It was actually, I think it was one of our own little headline tours,
Yeah.
and we took our good friends Strange Planes with us. We just did like 5 dates or something, and those boys are always good for a laugh.
Yeah.
And you know, the big thing is when you're either like opening act or doing it yourself, keep those costs down, baby.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to lose money.
No.
But if you break even, that's a good tour.
Yeah.
But then part of me is like, fuck it, and this tour we were like, fuck it,
Yeah.
don't worry about money. So we booked like an actual tour van,
Right.
and so we were a 3-piece, and Strange Planes at the time were just 2-piece. The 5 of us, we could just go in one van together, and fuck it, we'll just stay in hotels.
Yeah.
You know, whereas normally you're staying on people's floors or just
Yeah.
absolute living like scum.
Yeah.
And we had this van, and we stayed in hotels. And the tricky thing is, normally, even with gigs, like wedding gigs and stuff, it's like, oh, have a beer. Well, yeah, but I've got to go home. I've got to drive. And to get cheaper accommodation, you're usually not in a city centre.
Yeah.
So you got to drive from the venue, and you got all your gear with you. You can't just leave it.
No.
Sometimes you get the perfect storm of your hotel's near the venue. You can leave your gear in the venue overnight, locked up, pick it up in the morning. You don't have to drive the van back after the gig. You can just sort of leave it. And then there's somewhere nearby, open till late.
Yeah.
And we had a cracking night out, and we were all staying in the same room, the 4 of us. And I think Barry had his own room. And diva, nah. But we stayed, and we went to this place that was open till sort of 2, got the beers going, and then we went back to the Travelodge or Premier Inn or whatever, a couple more in the bar there, that was open all night.
Yeah.
And then went to sleep, and me and Neil, we would share a double bed as we normally do on gigs, innit?
Or just in general real life.
Just in general, just in real life.
Yeah.
And his wife gets very unhappy.
Yeah.
But, what you gonna do?
Yeah. The sofa's downstairs.
And I'll explain it from Neil's point of view first.
Yeah.
Neil woke up around 4 a.m. to knocking on the door. Right? That's the first he woke up.
Yeah.
Knocking on the door. And he went to the door and was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And looked through the little spy hole thing. And there was stood me.
Yeah.
And what had happened was I'd just sort of woken up in the night. Oh, I need a piss because I've been on El Vino did flu. And I went to what I thought was the bathroom door.
Right.
But what I'd actually opened was the hotel room door. And before I knew it, it had shut behind me.
Amazing.
And I'm just there, blurry-eyed, like, it's very bright in here.
What were you wearing?
Pants, just literally wearing my boxers. And then I was like, huh? And I turned around and I realised I'm in the hallway of this hotel.
Yeah.
But priority number 1 is I fucking need a piss.
Yeah.
Door's locked.
Yeah.
Don't have my key. I'm literally just in my pants.
Yeah.
So I end up sort of just having to waltz quickly around the hotel, past reception.
Yeah.
To just try and find a toilet.
Yeah.
And eventually I did find one. Sort of quick wave to reception.
I love it. Just in your pants.
Yeah.
That's
but
amazing.
then the thing is, I couldn't really remember what room we were in either.
Yeah.
Because I didn't check us in.
No.
But the only thing I could dig out my memory is when we were at the hotel bar.
Yeah.
We put some drinks on a tab.
Right.
And what room it was in. And someone said what room we were in.
Yeah.
But I'd never known that before.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know where to go back to.
No.
And I was at the point I was like, I don't even want to go up to reception and be like...
No. Because what are they going to say? If a man in his pants goes, excuse me, which room is Neil in? You know?
Yeah. I didn't even know whose name it was at, like...
Yeah.
And I remembered and then went back to the room and...
Well, thank God for that.
Knocked on the door.
I'm impressed that... Yeah.
Neil answered and was like, fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Surely you must have been like a bit drunk. Like if you'd been out drinking,
Yeah.
like when you wake up, it's not left you.
No, it wasn't like, okay, right, let's solve this situation. It was like, I'm still pissed. I'm starting to get the hangover.
Yeah.
But I fucking need a piss so bad.
Yeah.
I think I might just have to piss on the floor.
Yeah.
Or even my first thought was like, find a stairwell.
Yeah.
And just piss in the stairwell.
Yeah.
Something that's not a carpet.
Yeah.
Or a plant pot.
It's a genuine like fear. I quick piss story. When I was living back in Portsmouth, and I went to a gig in Brighton, and I had some pints. Sure, get over it. And but I didn't have a wee before I left the gig, and I got on the train. I was like, I sort of need a piss, but it's not too bad. And then by about Portslade, which is about 10 minutes from Brighton, I was like, this hurts now. And I was, when you clench your toes, and I was holding my fist, and I was just like, I can't do this for another 50 minutes. And it was the last.
Give you Willie a squeeze?
Well, I did everything. So it was like, and I was
get up and do the walk. The on the spot
shuffle. I
shuffle.
was just clutching everything. And I remember thinking, this is the last train back as well. But I can't, because trains don't have toilets, a lot of them, especially in the south. For some reason, they're all shit. So I had to just get off at Worthing. And that's how much I needed to piss. I thought I'd rather get off and piss because I can't. And I thought if I had to get a taxi back from Worthing to Portsmouth, fine. But it was mental how much I pissed. Because there wasn't a toilet there either. So I just found the quietest place. And he just wouldn't stop. It was like 2 or 3 minutes. I'm not exaggerating. And I was like, this is just mad now. And then I had to piss a few more times before. Thankfully, there was one more train that came through and took me back. But good grief. But I've got a...
fucking hurts, doesn't it? When you really...
Because if you think about it, when you're drinking, that's a lot of
Can't your
liquid.
kidneys burst if you don't...
you can...
Something can go really wrong.
Yeah.
Like if you don't
piss. I mean, I guess it's like anything. If you don't, I don't know, let out whatever needs to be let out, it's not good. I've got a good...
A friend of mine actually did a... I'm pretty sure he did a shit in a tube station.
Yeah. I've seen a picture of a man do that.
He just went right down the end, just where the tunnel sort of starts, and just had to curl one out.
Sometimes, if you got to go...
It's tricky.
I'll tell you a quick tour story. Even though it wasn't tour, it was when I was in Mallorca. But this is quite a fun story to tell. So it was like... So Magaluf is in Mallorca. And should have called it Shagaluf.
Good.
Shag a lot. And hard. In between us. So my partner in crime, Owen, he was like, we've got to go to Magaluf at some point, George. Like, just so I can show you how disgusting it all is, And we played this gig, and there's Palma, which is like the capital. And it's close to Magaluf.
Yeah, the airport and that.
So we said to the band, we're going to go out tonight after the gig. Can you take the van back? Like, Owen hired a car so we could, do our separate thing. And so we played. I think that day as well, we'd had a day where we went like cliff jumping or whatever. So it was quite a full on day. Like we went to some town, jumped into the sea and all that. And then we went and did our gig. And then after the gig, we said, right, band, see you later. Let's go to Magaluf. So, which is quite a weird place to go after, you think about when you do a gig and you go, all right, let's go to the services in Reading, but to go, Magaluf's a 20-minute drive.
Quick stop at Cherwell Valley.
Yeah, exactly. Cheveley.
Memory. Clackett Line. Yeah.
So we went to Magaluf. And we went out, and I'll
tell you what, that'd be amazing. To do a wedding gig, hop on a plane, and just go straight to Magaluf.
It would be, yeah. Well, this was how it felt.
Basically that.
Yeah, and we he's a solid drinker, so he had a few, but his rule was, I'll stop drinking for 2 hours.
He drinks too much. He's bordering on alcoholism.
Yeah,
but you just don't want to say anything.
No, like most of my mates. And so he said, as long as I stop drinking for 2 hours, then I can drive back. So anyway, we went out and we were
That's
there.
the rule.
Yeah,
I think that's what the police say.
Honestly, Mallorca's just there's no. I mean, there are rules on drink driving, but it's insane.
Yeah.
So we went out and we did all the clubs. You know, ended up in a strip club at one point, and it wasn't what you'd imagine. I'd never been to a strip club before, but it wasn't what I imagined. It was dirty. It was just odd. And yeah, I did get a lap dance, but it was over within like 2 minutes. And she was like, "Right, if you want more," and you got to pay. I haven't got any more. I haven't got any more money. Just going to get done a gig. So we left there pretty sharpish, and then you know, we just kind of went round all the pubs and stuff. And then at about 5 a.m, he's like, "Right, let's go back." So I tried to do, as you'll know, with gigging, when you've done a late night gig, stay awake for the other person, you know, that's
out
driving.
Of respect. Yeah,
out of respect. Yeah. I said, my man.
Rules of the gig road, isn't it?
Yep. I said, "Owen, my man, you know, you're like a brother to me. I will stay awake." Anyway, I didn't stay awake at all. And I fell asleep pretty quickly. So this is the funny part of the story. So I woke up an hour later and it's just the cars bumping up and down. I'm like, what is going on? And I turned to him and he looks around. He's like, "Oh, you're awake. Okay. Just to say, I'm driving up a mountain. I'm going to do it as fast as I can just to, like, you know, just so it kind of, we get there quicker." I was like, "What the fuck?" So anyway, he had this idea, like, let's go and see the sunrise over Mallorca. And we got back to the town we were staying in. And yeah, he drove up this mountain and then sun came up and we sort of looked out. It was, you know, amazing. And then there was a goat as well. There was a goat, but we couldn't tell if it was a goat or a person. We just kept hearing like, "Ah!" And we were like,
yeah,
"Are they saying help?" So then we start talking to this goat for way too long again. Do you need help? And then it would just be like, "How?" And I'm like, I don't know if that's a goat or a person. Anyway,
or a coat.
And but anyway, it was just one of those mad nights where it was just like, I missed out so much.
Like
of
a
that
new
story.
rock paper scissors goat person.
Goat person, yeah.
Coat beats
Coat would
person eats the goat.
Yeah.
No.
Goat eats the coat.
The coat's made out of goat?
Yeah. I'd say a goat would eat a coat. So goat beats coat.
Yeah.
Person can beat goat, but
Yeah.
then something beats the person.
The coat.
Coat. There you go.
The coat covers the person
Yeah.
like paper covers.
Like, yeah. So
the
coat
rock.
is essentially the paper.
Yeah.
The
person is the rock.
Yeah.
And the goat is the scissors.
There you go.
Perfect.
But it was one of those nights where it was just like, that was a full on mad night, but like in a good way. Just sort of like, I played a gig and then I went to Magaluf for a night out and then got back. And you get back at 8 a.m, you wake up at 4 p.m, and then you go and do a gig and you do it all again. I'll tell you what, that's the thing, because it wasn't a tour, obviously, but it was relentless in like, it was, 6 shows a week, every week for 7 months. And it's like, there's certain things. And the thing I found is the gig very much becomes the easiest, most normal part of the day, which is so weird. It's like, if you have a different sandwich filling, that's more different than the gig, it's like, but yeah, that's my, I'm essentially been on a tour, but that was a good, good
that brings
night out.
actually, like, doing the tours I've done, it's mental when you think that, the 24-hour period, so much of that is driving and sleeping in a shithole or a cramped or sharing a bed. Your food budget is small, so you're not eating properly, and you don't have like a home, essentially. You're just always eating out and doing all that sort of stuff, and you're doing all that for 30 minutes on stage, especially when you're the opening band, so you're just like, I hope it's a good one. I hope this show is good, or at least you play well. Because there's a lot of time and effort going in just for that half hour.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, it is fun though.
Yeah.
Right.
Just be good to do a tour where people actually turn up.
Yeah.
Well, not that they did. Obviously, we were.
Oh, you mean like like people
Your own
watching.
tour, though.
Yeah.
Not the band,
Thought you
mate.
meant
I'd
the
be annoyed if I
band.
organised a tour and I was the only one. I was like, I thought not even the band want to do it.
Yeah.
That's mental.
No, I know what you mean.
But yeah. Any tour stories, get in touch.
Yeah.
drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Instagram. We'll put some shit on there.
Yeah.
At Drum and Drummer Podcast.
Yeah.
Like and give us 5 stars. Cheers.
Yeah.
Tell your little friends.
Check out drumcoachonline.com.
Drumcoach Online,
and-
oldblacksmiths.com, benwhitney.com. Tune in next week for See Who's Tom of the Week.
Yep. Is that the end of the episode?
I think it is.
Do you know what? I've lost track of where we even were. I didn't know if we'd done a break or not.
No idea.
It's so hot.
I think we'll go back to doing them on Zoom. It's a bit easier.
I felt like the rapport was good, but that was.
I'll rapport you in a minute. Nah, that doesn't work.
Yeah, it's good effort. Though.
Anyway, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye bye.